Yeah, that's definitely getting re-edited and done up a little bit better. But anybody and everybody who's in, welcome to Dueling Aces Fantasy Football Edition.
And
Fantasy
P.S.
football extravaganza.
I've seen the sneak peek of the slides. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad that you like it. Glad that you like it.
So
They are
a notification coming.
It's come. It's getting here.
I mean, Christ, it's 10 after. I mean, at this point,
Hey,
show's canceled. We're done.
I don't think so. Not on my watch. No matter what. Bam. There's the first batch. The first batch is in.
Right. I'm glancing through this list of snarky comments for the top 150 players in fantasy football. Most of them are pretty stupid, but some of them are good. Ezekiel Elliott, late stage Eddie George had more explosion than 2020 Zeke.
Nice.
Good. That's good.
Saquon Barkley should give your eliminated team a boost in November.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow. What else is there?
Let's see. Alvin Kamara. Enjoy Taysom Hill's 12 touchdowns. Like, come on, who did y'all draft? Let's bring it.
That's good.
Oh no, so
Nick Chubb.
My players.
Yeah. Derrick Henry. Earl Campbell concerned about Henry's workload.
Damn.
That's funny. Well, he shouldn't have much of a workload. Mr. Brabander, how the hell are you, sir? Mikey's in the house.
I love how we always fuck up his name.
Brabander's even got a nickname in the card game. He's got the threes. Every time a three pops up, somebody's been Brabandered. So he's loving that. He's loving that.
You know, the bad thing is I was going to get in on that when we were down in Tennessee, but we didn't have no damn Wi-Fi at the cabin, so I couldn't.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, because I couldn't spend no damn money down there because they had somebody cut through the some cable wire down there, so half the fucking city and half the state was out of internet.
Damn.
So everywhere we went, you had to pay in cash. Who carries cash nowadays?
I was just going to say, that had to be a little tough.
I figured if I'm going to spend my money somewhere, I'll put it to a good cause, more cards.
You're right. Right? Hell yeah. That's a plus.
Let me just throw this one zinger out there. Clint's not here. He'd appreciate this. Maybe. Allen Robinson, excited for the upgrade to Andy Dalton.
Damn.
Ah!
Damn.
Clint actually just got home from work, so
He'll be on in a minute.
he'll be on very shortly here. And we know Suds is still at a football field. I just got in from a football field.
Hey, it's a great time of year, though.
Yeah, this it is. This it is. Although we watched better Lions preseason than what the heck I just witnessed. I'm just saying.
Wow. Shots fired.
It was rough. Not going to lie. It was a little rough to watch. But, hey, it's a good thing it was a scrimmage game. They got some time to still get their crap together. They still got 2 to 3 weeks. He's a great day. That's right. Brabander's at CP.
Yeah, he got rained on.
Soaked. Soaked. I was just going to say, but on bump, Soak City.
It's now Cedar Point Shores.
It was worth the cheap punchline. It was worth the cheap punchline.
I think he went a day late. All the action happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
You did not hear about the girl that got smacked in the face by a piece of metal off a top thrill?
No.
Yeah. She was standing in line and some metal disc or something came off and smacked her in the face. And then Cedar Point's getting a lot of backlash because their EMS staff were assholes. There was a couple of like emergency nurses and stuff that were there taking care. Like they said they could do only so much with all the people's clothing and stuff to try to stop the bleeding from it. And I guess when the EMS from Cedar Point got there, they were telling people to shut up and back up. They didn't give her no IV, no pain meds. No, they didn't have a C-spine collar, none of that shit. They were unprepared as all hell, so they're getting a lot of backlash right now for it.
So you say you want to work at Cedar Point for $20 an hour? Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I just want to state this, all right? As a person who has ticket for them, nor am I going to try to backlash them on them. You got to remember, EMTs take time to get to wherever they're going. And when there's 60,000 people walking around, they're like, oh, what is that thing? And they stand there in front of it, and they don't want to know why.
It's late.
It's always late, or someone wants to yell at something. You know, it's just like you get a sandwich mess up at a fast food restaurant. Always remember, people, they're only paid a certain amount. Never said they had to be smart to work there.
True. Very true.
IV, I could say, why should they have an IV on them? They're just, they're there.
But pain meds, though.
Yeah, they should have the assessment situation. IV, I could probably fight with. Why should they have IV? They're there to take care of the smaller installations and not an actual major occurrence. A freak accident happens not all the time. I mean, that was just an event that does not actually happen there.
Yeah, but they are supposed to be prepared for it.
We're supposed to be prepared for bombings, but who gets to say we're going to be prepared for that? I mean, we don't get the big siren to go off anymore for atomic bombs. We call them tornado sirens now.
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. Good to see. I was just getting through trying to finish up the taggings. It's like, all right, who else am I missing?
Don't tag Jean. She's probably already in bed.
Oh, I already turned around and I already tagged her because that was last night. That was last night. I was gonna say tonight she'll be ready to rock and roll.
All right, you want?
Oh yeah, Clint's message to Jason. I did redeem myself with the list this week. And
since you Clevelanders want to know what the Odell Beckham snarky comment is,
go for it. Shoot.
Farther from his prime than AJ Green.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far.
I was gonna say.
That's right. It's beginning of the season. We have hope, so we're not bagging on OBJ yet.
Yet.
It's kind of like Lions fans with Kenny Galladay when he was there.
And by the way, here is the Keggy the Keg mascot. Popped him as the numero uno on the college mascots list. That was the big shocker.
I had a pretty good one. I could have probably put better than number 5, and that was the bear from Montana.
Yeah, the bear on the motorcycle, that's pretty wild. Gino's looking to see how we did on the draft, so he knows what not to do this Sunday. On his.
I'm glad you said that because I got to tag my buddy who's never done a fantasy football league before, and I created one just for him.
Oh,
and add
Oh,
some buddies to
because
it.
George's league is definitely what you want him to go off of.
yeah, right.
Just take. I mean, I told him just he has some idea, obviously, but I'm like, just listen to the aces and what we have to say.
Yeah, as if this bad boy wasn't an interesting debacle enough. I have the board, and I was gonna put it up if I had a few minutes. But yeah,
Which you didn't.
It's an epic disaster. Interesting epic disaster. It's like anybody and everybody, you want to know what not to do.
Draft like acres.
I was going to say there might be a column or two we can point at.
Just a little.
I mean, if George would have had more time, I'm surprised he didn't bring it up like those one guys from all the Sporting News or whatever, that he had all the lists of the guys that drafted and he brought them up and we were pinpointing who was bad and whose wasn't.
What the hell was that?
I supposedly had
Garbage.
the one after the
Send
draft.
Rob a quick rundown. Yeah, I will. I will, because Shrods even wanted that too.
Last year. I lost a few running backs, lost a receiver.
Aha. And now I can turn around and pull a quick. Done. Boom. And now we will have. Come on. Nope, I don't want that over here. Move this over here. Now we can do the share screen. Dun, dun, dun. Little glare on the bottom, but it's all right. It's just covering a right-in kicker. Not that we're pointing anybody out or anything.
Yeah, you guys had to do a write-in for me?
Yeah, for Higgins. Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was weird.
That was, yeah. This kit will not be the same kit that makes it to the Ohio draft. Not when, after further investigation, there were multiple bye weeks that were wrong from certain players, even though they were on the correct team. And I did make the unhappy email of letting the individual know that, hey, guess what? This is what you had messed up in your label making, and you might want to go back and correct a lot of shit. I said, because you even saying, hey, as of June 1st, this is what the update was. No, brother, you got to make sure your stuff is updated consistently. I mean, like by the end of July, if you're going to start selling stuff for August. It's like, come on.
If you're not going to update past June 1st, then don't sell past, say,
Right.
July 1st.
Exactly. Because you just cannot do it. It's just one of those things of don't bother. Just do not bother. Because it's not worth it. It isn't worth it at all.
I don't know. We'll see how my team does. I mean, I don't think that's horrible, but I could have got the guys in the war room to make a little better picks possibly, but we'll see how it pans out for the year.
Well,
See,
the interesting one is our guy here in the fourth spot, Gary, who has not done fantasy football drafting, and as far as keeping up with everything, he's a Dallas guy, as you clearly note a little bit, but his squad isn't too bad as far as a first-time shot goes. It isn't too
Yeah.
bad.
That basement went quiet, though, when he took Thomas in the second round.
Yeah, well, and it's because, like, again, when you're reading on those little computer things that tell you, okay, this is who you should take in this league.
Yeah.
You just you're going off of the computer and not really thinking of everything else. So, I mean, one bad outside, it is what it is. I mean, he went off of the computer in some spots and then just went, I'm going to turn around and go here for this spot. So, who knows? You know, maybe Thomas does end up getting traded off to somebody else, and it's a beautiful pick, and it gets lucky. You know,
I mean, if you, in your opinion per se, if he were to get traded, where is the best fit for him?
well, New Orleans. If New Orleans is smart, I mean, one, you're not really gonna, it's always that bad luck. You're gonna try to trade within your own division. But it's like, who's going to give you what? And if Atlanta is stinking up the joint that bad, I mean, A, you don't want to make them better. You want to keep them down there. And B, the only other team that's really looking for somebody is still Denver. Denver's looking for everything.
What about Baltimore?
Baltimore needs to throw the ball first.
True.
We're definitely not going.
I was gonna say, what about Green Bay? Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, 1-2.
Randall Cobb.
And Cobb in the slot. That's dangerous. Yeah, that could be interesting.
Cap space.
I was gonna say that's the ultimate question: is the cap space? Very true.
They have 11 in cap space right now.
I told you.
Oh, that's some room. That is some room. That is a lot of room.
I mean, the old football team's got some room.
Yes, they do.
The real question is what team actually has something to give up to get them?
Well, New Orleans' asking price is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It may not be. Because him and Penn are having a fight right now, so that right there is showing you that possibly they'll do the same thing like they did with Antonio Brown and
just
Randy
keep
Moss.
Keep in mind, keeping him on the roster, even if he doesn't play and you just sit his ass, is costing you $10 million. Trading him costs you $32.
Whew.
Yeah, that's the tough part. That is a tough part.
So you're going to try to find a trade partner that's going to take up some of that contract too, aren't you? Or
Does the
half.
NFL even let you do that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know they give out a ton of guaranteed money. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So the overall, and Zolt, when we picked yesterday, and I was looking at the numbers that were coming up left, and I'm going, damn it, Zolt's going to be at 1 or 3 right next to me. This is gonna be I'm like, are you shitting me right now? I said, and the worst, my worst fear is watch him be 1, and it's going to be the reverse from Saturday. I was like, if he ends up at 1, I'm just going to have to just go.
When it came down to it, it was 1, 3, or 9, and I'm sitting there, and then they picked 1 for Durkin. Durkin got 1, so then it was 3 or 9, and I'm here going, I don't want 9. It's going to be the exact same damn draft I just did at 10. 3's fine. I mean, I know I'm getting 1 of 3 players, so that's
You're right. It's definitely 1 of 3.
Cook, Henry, Kamara.
CMC.
Cook, Henry, or Elliott. No, you will not have CMC. I guarantee you will not
One
have.
of the top 3. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be one of them.
Well, it's all, every draft I've done for the last year has been Mahomes and McCaffrey 1-2 every draft.
Where's that gotten you?
Then I didn't say me.
Oh,
I didn't pick him. I
No,
won.
it's other people's.
I won 2 championships last year out of 5 fantasy drafts. So
That's
can't
not bad.
complain. And the bad thing is the
You
dude
take that
that
percentage.
the dude that was in the Canadian league that runs it. We were also picked the defensive players as well. This dude went undefeated throughout the whole season. I beat him in the championship.
That's how that works. Usually, you go undefeated in the regular season, you lose your first playoff game.
First game.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually, that's how that happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seen it so many times.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, I thought it was me. It's not me.
Okay, he did. Woo, he froze for a minute.
Like, what in the blue hell is going on?
I was looking at that face froze again. I'm like, uh-oh, screenshot.
yep, sure did. Lost the camera.
I'm like, I better not be having issues. I will beat the snot out of Spectrum so bad it won't be funny. I was like, Spectrum and I will have more than words.
Be a fisticuffs.
Yeah. I'm even just checking just to see if there's a outage. Yeah. It's exactly what I was just looking at.
It sounds like there's a thunderstorm coming on top of us.
Is it? Great. That is not what I wanted to hear.
No train yet, but there's a helicopter, so you guys might hear that.
Yeah.
It's always something when I'm outside.
That's true. I'm starting to hear it.
I'm like, I didn't see anything. I mean, there was nothing as far as weather issues that I saw that were even going to be around tonight.
It's reading it, but it's not showing yet.
Hey, George. When's the draft results going to be on the website?
I still need.
Where's our draft grades, damn it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we want those.
Yeah, we really want those pieces of shit. I still have to get 2 emails. I got to get 2 emails and move around a couple of the league things still. So I think I need 2 of the emails, but it said it was going to be in by Friday at the latest.
You still got to add me to that one because I only have 2 of your leagues on my.
Yep.
Yeah, I changed my team name again.
Yours, I believe it's yours and Gary's I have to put in. And then have you guys accept them and do all that crap. So
Gotcha.
that's the task tomorrow morning is getting the official emails and, acceptances in, and then I can do it. And hopefully by Wednesday it'll be squared away, but Friday by the latest.
When I know Burgess is 2 weeks out, but when are we doing the poll for the picks or draft order?
That one is on location.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember if it was or it wasn't.
Yeah, that one's on location, and the DA one, I'll get Bryce. Once I get this all done first, I want to finish one at a time. Once I get this done first, then we'll have Bryce. Since we got a few weeks for that, but I know everybody wants to know where they're pulling at, especially since Leo's transferred into that one from Ohio. So
tell Bryce I got a 20 for him if he gives me like a top 3 pick.
I will let him know, but he's the one who's shuffling the cards around.
Right.
So, I'll make sure I advise him of that.
Pick wisely, kid.
It's like anybody else want to offer up gifts? He is collecting for a new bowling bag.
I hear there's some stained glass cards out there he's looking for.
Yeah, right. That's right. That too. Multitask. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, I decided my belt missing team name was only funny till the draft, so I changed it over the weekend after the draft.
Yeah, but it was good though. It was good.
It was.
It's A for creativity and effort.
I like my current one. I really do.
Uh-oh.
All
Now the inquiring minds want to know. So we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up live. Why the hell not?
It ties in with what I ended up drafting, which, you know me, that is not the direction I typically go.
No, it was not. And in fact, when you started it, I was like,
what is he doing?
What the hell? 99 wide receivers? 99 wide receivers, but a hill one. Nice. That is awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you very much.
I was looking at team names today too, but I haven't come up with it. I like the Weeby Chubbin one, but there's one for Jalen Waddle, but I don't know how it'll go over too well.
Yeah, it's. I think that was kind of just really bizarre, because yours did go. It's like it looked like you weren't even happy with your first two picks, and I'm sitting there going, "Well, you got Adams and Metcalf. There's nothing to really be angry about." But you just looked, and you were looking going into 3 and 4, and you're going Gibson and then Brown, and you're just like, and I'm like, "Wow, he is not happy."
No, it wasn't.
Not
it wasn't
happy.
that. It was just I don't go that strategy. I know that strategy. I know how to draft it. I hate it. It never feels right.
Yeah, that was the look you gave. You were just like, it's shit. I've got shit. I'm in the 10 spot. It is shit.
Yep.
I'm
just gonna do what I can with this.
I'll try to make brownies.
See what I can do with this. Yep.
I'll try to make
what
brownies.
This does.
We'll go from here.
Why do I gotta get you in the first damn pick? Man, there you go. On the first week.
What's that? No, it won't be.
I was gonna say, will it change after you put the players in?
It'll change once the other ones get in and the other teams come in, and it'll rotate through and it'll get shut. I always shuffle it 10 times anyway, so it won't be. I mean, if it is after the 10 shuffle, then it is. But that's
we playing to what, week 16?
No, it is week, because we usually do 14, 15, 16. This year it'll be 15, 16, 17 with no playing in week 18. Playoffs will be 15, 16, 17. So it is gonna be a long season. I mean, anybody who's done fantasy baseball, it's going to seem like, this is nothing.
Yeah.
But for everybody else, it's like, man, I mean, if you thought that football dragged on a little bit long now, it's going to feel a little bit longer. And especially since we don't know how COVID stuff is going to react. But like I said, for mine, I am keeping the 7 or 8 reserve spots. I'm leaving those reserve spots in there. Whatever the number is that we've got currently, I'm leaving it all in there because we still don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You have COVID spots?
Yeah. How do you have it? Do you have it set up? How do you have it set up as to who can go in there? Like, what's the condition?
It's still set up like last year. So when it pops up and it says COVID next to the guy,
okay, then
you can move it to the reserve.
Okay.
Yeah. It's still set up that way. I left it exactly the same way it was from last year.
Okay.
So yes, I didn't change. I'm not changing any of that. It's all going to stay the same. Just because of the fact. And that was something that I was actually talking to a couple of people about at the game this afternoon, was how far out, Thielen got picked. I mean, round 5.
Yeah.
That's far down. It's just like, okay, and that was it. I didn't even see the other Vikings wide receivers get picked at all. And Cook and Thielen being the only two Vikings even drafted.
Jefferson.
Jefferson?
We had Jefferson.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jefferson did
Yep.
get drafted. My bad. Third to Wayland. But everybody else, nobody else is there.
Well,
Who else is there?
I
The
I think it's
even
one
the
of
tight end
those.
didn't even
Yeah,
go.
I think it's one of those situations where you have your tiers, and you had your top tier wide receivers, and I did my best to eliminate as many of them as I possibly could. But once you get through that top tier, there's a lot of the same guy. So it's like you might have your favorites. You might say Keenan Allen's going to have a good year, or Thielen's going to have a good year, or Cooper Kupp's going to have his year, and that's fine. But the long and short of it is, when you're looking at an entire league, there's 20 guys, maybe more, that are probably all projected about the same. So, I mean, it's all, at that point, you get to personal preference.
I hope Keenan Allen has a good year. I get the double points.
Right.
I was good. Can you put the draft back up, or did you take it down?
No, I've got it.
Okay.
Here.
I mean, hell, it's one of the fantasy shows. I don't have any problem running through that draft in my thought process. Even though we are doing another draft just like this with half the same friggin' people, I don't care.
It's like, oh yeah. Nope. Let me bring it right back up.
Sorry, don't mind the singing child.
All right, so last column. I was already screwed out of damn near every running back I actually had interest in, at least the first turn. I mean, I thought about Barkley for a second, but I just wasn't comfortable with it.
That's good.
But so grabbing Adams and Metcalf, and then 2 rounds later picking Brown. My projections, those are 3 of the top 4 wide receivers in that league. God, I hope I'm right, because if I'm wrong, I'm screwed. But
well, I mean, think about it too. DJ Moore had 1,000 yards last year, so I mean, and that was with the quarterback problems they had in Carolina with Bridgewater, and
Well, Bridgewater was throwing, and the guy who got everything was Robinson or Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson was getting it all.
Yeah,
and I looked like a freaking genius, by the way, doing that. I must say. Because I had paid attention to the little tidbits of, hey, somebody's building a rapport with a guy. If you ever hear somebody's building a rapport with a guy, guess who you should be usually drafting? You might want to draft that guy because you never know.
The thing I hate is I know what happens to everybody is the person before you on either the way it snakes is like, like you make your pick, and then as you're waiting for your next pick to come back around, you've got about 3 or 4 guys on your list, and it always comes down to that one guy's left, and it's that I always call it the asshole in front of or behind you that takes that when you know what I'm saying. It's like it never fails. The joys of fantasy football drafting.
Yeah, that's me. But so coming to the 3-4 turn, obviously I needed a running back at that point, and I knew it. It's very obvious. The couple that I had been eyeing up, Eckler went to Scott. I just knew George was taking Swift, so that was no big deal.
He does every year.
I drafted him last year. He was good enough. I had to pick somebody in that spot.
I mean, my choices were, Gibson. I'd been basically eyeing for that entire round just to see if he fell. He did, and I grabbed him. And I was really tempted to take Etienne, but like I said, Brown's sitting there, and considering the fact that I still had him rated as a top 4 wide receiver, and since we start 3 wide receivers, there's my 3 starters. I mean, I just felt I had to, and I kind of looked at the running backs and was like, I might be able to come up with something out of this, and I was happy Jacobs made it back to me. I mean, I'm not going to say he's the greatest. He really doesn't catch passes, but I mean, he does enough, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I told the first time George came over to talk to me, which was a little bit later, but I immediately said I screwed up. And when I said that, I'm talking about Montgomery.
Yep.
That's the pick I wish I had back. Because I just, what would I have done?
Yeah, and I'm saying, who would you have taken instead of Montgomery in that situation?
I was eyeing Brady at that time. But the back of my head, I just shifted back into running back mode where I'm like, I don't have the strongest of running backs. I need to throw somebody else in here. He was the next guy on the list. I mean, he doesn't usually get hurt. He's a good running. I mean, he's an okay running back. He's my first guy off the bench. But I wish I had gone Brady because he did not come back around to me.
Because the funny part, I'm sorry, the funny part about that is literally 3 picks before that, Dave came over to show me before we were actually starting, I think.
Yeah, right.
That Montgomery went out injured in the game.
Yeah, I know. It didn't matter.
And that's why I'm sitting there and I almost looked back at him going, what did you just do?
But you know, when you go back and look at what it actually reported was he basically left the field under his own power.
Right.
I'm okay. You know, they didn't cart him off. They didn't carry him off. He just tweaked whatever and left the field. And if I remember right, I just saw he's already taken carries in practice again. So
I think the one that surprises me, and I know tight ends don't go obviously within the first couple of rounds, but I had my eye on him, and of course, fucking Zolt took him on the snake back, and that's Pitts. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Oh, no.
Actually, I drafted Pitts.
That's the thing. That was the trade that happened during the draft.
Right.
I grabbed Pitts. Lawrence because once Brady went, that was the end of that tier. My next guy up was basically Lawrence, but it's just rookie quarterback, and that's going to be my starter. So
you guys made. I didn't even catch the trade. That was
yeah.
I took Lawrence, which screwed George.
Because I was literally drafting my team on the setup.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, damn it. And I was like, well, because I had Fournette, I was like, well, Lawrence is still going to be there. And then Dave took Lawrence. I'm going, no. I'm like, damn it.
Well, and that's what, if you notice, like where Pitts is at in that situation, I waited 2 more rounds before I even took my tight end, which I still think I got a decent one with Tanyan for that.
That was the thing. The trade didn't happen until the turn where I took the Buccaneers defense and Matt Ryan. Because I was still letting it go. And Tanyan was definitely a guy I was eyeing up. And then he went. So at that point, I'm like, do I just wait still and hope get another tight end? I know George wants Lawrence. And then I start looking at the quarterbacks who are left. And I'm like, Matt Ryan is still out there. And I know we don't think Atlanta will have a good year. But it's still Matt Ryan.
He was one of those ones where, like, I was down to, I think, him and Tannehill. And I'm like, the last time I took Matt Ryan's when he had one of his down years, I'm like, I don't want to go through that shit again.
Yep.
So I'm like, screw it. I'll just take Tannehill.
Nope, I get it. I the reason I took Ryan is because George and I at that point had worked out the deal, and now I could have the combo of Ryan to Pitts.
Yeah.
I just can't believe Burrow went that late.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of glad he did. So hopefully I'm wrong, and that offensive line can actually keep him upright.
Yeah, because the thing I screwed up on was, like, I always try to do my own list. Like, I don't go out and buy the books and then, whatever. So I was using my own cheat sheet, and I got to, like, at that point where I'm like, shit, there's like 2 running backs left. And it was like James Robinson and somebody else or something. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the fucking bye weeks. I'm like, shit, I got Chubb and Hunt. They're on the same bye week. I got to be able to have a backup running back here. So I think I ended up taking 2 more after the fact just to be on the safe side.
Yeah, that was actually the issue where we discovered that they had some bye weeks wrong on the stickers because I took Brown, and Brown's sticker has him listed as a bye week of week 14. It's not week 14, it is week 13, which is the same bye week as it's either Metcalf or Adams.
Well, I know Moore has the same one too, because I think the Browns and Panthers have the same bye week this year.
which is insane.
Yeah. Just think about that, though. I mean, week 13, week 14, there's bye weeks.
Yeah, and I don't have to worry about the defense until then. I got my defense up until week 13. Then I got to figure out to get one, for that week 13.
Right.
Yeah, well, and strategically because it's before the playoffs too, and you're just like,
Yeah.
wow, not good. It is just bad timing to sit there and, how bad do you need to win a game just before the playoffs?
Yeah. And, a lot of times if you have an early bye week, you basically turn into where you're just streaming defenses for the rest of the year. You just,
Right.
we're going to grab this guy. We're going to grab this D. We're going to grab this team. If you've made it to week 13, week 14, and you still have your original defense, that means you were right when you drafted them. You're not going to want to drop them, which means you're using a valuable roster spot to carry a second defense.
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, granted, it was only one preseason game, but I actually think the Browns defense is going to surprise people this year.
Well, they didn't do that bad last year. They didn't do that bad at all.
We got dueling trains out here.
Yeah. Yeah, the Browns did not do that bad for fantasy-wise for last year.
Well, and then I realized, too, like, as where I took the Browns, I'm like, shit, there was still the Chargers defense was still out there, the Dolphins, because the Dolphins had a good year last year defensively. Just I couldn't pick the Titans because I just don't trust them.
And that's the one I did take because I think they're on a mission this year defensively. They have to turn around. They had to get better. They got a couple more inside linebackers, and I think they got the right, combination and the chemistry together. So that's why they're going to pretty much railroad that division anyway. And it's the first time I've even taken the Titans defense. It's like, yeah, it's just, but the schedule is just too tempting not to.
Right. Well, the thing is, too, is, I mean, granted, we did the draft early enough that you don't even know, like, some of these running back battles, like, Sermon and Mostert, and then what's going to happen in Jacksonville. Like, you don't even know what's going to happen, or Tampa Bay even. You know what I mean? Like, anything could happen there.
Well, and that's why I was kind of surprised I got Fournette as late as I did. I was like, okay.
Well, the one we talked about last night, the one that surprised me who wasn't drafted that you said was A.J. Dillon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the big surprise. It's like,
because when he played last year, he was a beast.
Yeah.
And like, what was it? I think Clint even said that Aaron Jones was good for at least one or two games to be out for injury.
And that's why I didn't want him.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't want him. I know, because I had him last year.
I mean, realistically, you have to ask the question with 17 games in the regular season, and obviously we don't score all of them, but with 17 games, how many running backs are actually going to play in all 17?
True. Here's
the
question.
NFL. It's brutal.
Right.
Did Goff get drafted?
Oh, hell no.
No.
I didn't think so. I didn't.
No. And the
only
part about it is, go ahead.
The only Lions wide receiver that got drafted, if I remember right, was Ross St. Brown.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, did Perriman get drafted?
Nope.
I'm sure Ty Williams didn't get drafted.
No.
Nope.
So it's only Hawkinson and St. Brown.
And Swift.
Well, yeah, I just, yeah.
Yeah.
You just said receiver.
Well, Hawkinson's tight end, but I mean, those are the only Lions who got drafted.
Still receiving a ball.
That's crazy.
And I didn't realize half these guys that changed teams too, like Jared Cook's now with the Chargers, and all the tight ends that went to New England.
And both of them got hurt already.
Yeah, both of them are hurt already. But I was very fortunate that nobody realized that since Stafford likes throwing to his tight ends, it's like, yep, I'll wait. Nobody's looking at Higbee. Nobody's looking at Higbee.
Yeah.
And ta-da,
He was on
there
my
he was.
list, but
he loves throwing to his tight ends. So I figured Higbee should be all right.
as long as he stays healthy.
Well, I was eyeballing Cook too. And then he got tagged, and I was like, yeah, I can wait for Higbee. Everybody else has already got one or two tight ends, so I knew it should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I said it when the draft was over. It's like, man, I would kind of wish we had another round or two. I still had guys on the list I wanted, but that comes from playing best ball where you're drafting like 20, 22 guys per team.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that you don't do roster changes. It does it automatically, and you don't do transactions during the season. So what you have, what you draft is what you have. That's it.
I'm trying to see who has the best like running back starting combo here.
Well, it depends. If Najee Harris actually performs, him and Taylor might be dangerous with Carson right behind him.
Right.
Yeah, Richie did real well for the one spot. He did really well.
Yeah. Even McCaffrey Dobbins.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
The Bills running backs just scare me, though. That's why I never draft them, because you never know who's going to have the hot hand.
Shruds went Cook Jones again, and you're trusting both of them to stay healthy. Henry Sanders. I mean, Henry's the bell cow out of those two.
I was so happy when Waylon took Elliott. I'm like, thank you. I don't want
So you didn't have to make the decision.
Yep. I was so damn happy. In fact, once he said Elliott, and I just looked at you, I'm going, oh, thank God. I said, yep, I don't want that. I did not want to have to even deal with that decision. And it was funny because when Scott took Tyreek Hill, I'm going, oh, God, here we go. I'm like, oh.
I was waiting to see if that was actually going to start a run.
It would have been interesting, especially because of what everybody truly would know about Kamara and Elliott. You don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
I think the biggest run we had was the defensive run.
I was taking Henry.
Yes. That was all
Sherrod started, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
No.
With the Rams.
No. That's when I took Tucker. Right? And it's kickback.
No, Sherrod started. I remember that.
Yeah, the defensive. Yeah, it was Rams, Steelers, Browns football team.
Yeah. It was Shroud's.
Oh yeah, Sherrod started the
We came out of that break and Shroud's went, all right. We came out of the break and Shroud's just said, all right, let's do this. And that was, I mean, it was 3 straight and then Mostert and then Washington. But then it did do on the wraparound too. So
who takes a kicker that soon?
Oh, some asshole who's a Ravens fan, usually. But
you're a Ravens
somebody
fan
was
now?
definitely
Don't let
thinking
Suggs know
outside
that.
the box. Somebody was thinking outside the box this year.
So here's the thing: who is Henderson the starting running back for the Rams now since Akers is out?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, he is. Behind
Who's the
him,
back?
you have Xavier Jones. Raise your hand if you've heard of Xavier Jones. I can't see anybody else on the screen. I'm going to assume nobody's raising their
Nope.
hands.
Nope.
And I actually got to look up the other two.
Wow.
I just want to say I did steal a running back who was starting, and it's very questionable to see if he actually is actually in control of the ball.
What, Mike Davis?
Ingram.
I don't trust him.
Ingram is the starting running back for the Houston Texans.
David Johnson was listed 1.
You want to take a look at that draft again then? Yes, Ingram started number 1. But then again, who do we really know?
To be honest, the what I'm looking at right here has Ingram 1, Lindsey 2.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot they got him too, don't they?
Yeah, they got Philip
Yeah,
Lindsay.
that's right. Oh, something must have had it. Something happened to David.
He's third.
Wait,
where's
did something happen to him last year?
He fell into somebody's doghouse. He fell all the way to 3. That's a problem.
Yeah,
Well,
here's
the
your.
problem, go ahead, Zolt.
I was just gonna say, here's your Los Angeles Rams running backs. So household names all around. We have Daryl
Xavier
Henderson,
Jones.
Xavier Jones. Good job. We have Jake Funk, Raymond Calais, and Otis Anderson.
Wow.
Junior.
I was just
I
going
hope.
to say Junior. Yeah. Right?
Didn't he play in a Super Bowl years ago with the Giants?
Uh-huh. I was going to say, that name rings a bell.
Well, the problem I was running into is like when you get to toward that bottom, like where you're looking at running backs who are left, like the teams that were left was like the Broncos who have that rookie, and then they still got like Melvin Gordon. And then I didn't realize like Kenyon Drake's now with the Raiders. Like I was like,
Yeah.
damn, all these changes, like I had no idea where these guys had all moved and shit. And it was like some of the Jets running backs, it's like, is Carter going to do anything, and with the Jets? But then their starting running back is Tevin Coleman.
That's
Like,
right.
So it was the running backs gets tough when you get down to like, when it's thin.
Yeah, and especially with this, you get teams like Denver where you still got Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater as your quarterbacks. You don't
Teddy
know
Two Gloves.
what that offense is going to do. If
Right.
it's going to do anything, you just don't know. Because if there's no passing offense from that team, I don't see Melvin Gordon as a good enough back nowadays to carry that squad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Denver used to breed running backs, but it seems like they're more really of getting injured now.
Yeah. And then, kind of the same situation with the Jets. I mean, granted, they do have Zach Wilson, but rookie quarterback. So is Tevin Coleman the guy to carry a team on his back?
Too small.
I don't think so. So they have a decent wide receiving core. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, but they're talking. I was reading something today that Denzel Mims might be on his way out.
I mean, I've got him as the 5th wide receiver on that.
And that's about where they had him. They said he wasn't even draftable at this point in fantasy.
Which was scary considering he was like the 2nd best wide receiver on that squad last year.
Right.
Well, I mean, Corey Davis, he lit it up in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Jamison Crowder, Keelan Cole. I mean, who would you put him into
came
that?
up from Jacksonville.
Go back to Mims real quick. What's the problem in where Mims is at? Is it the quarterback situation that he's being thrown from, or is it actually him?
No, the wide receivers are just, they pulled all these veteran wide receivers from other teams. Cole came up from Jacksonville. Davis came over from Tennessee. You're going to get bumped down the ladder. It's that simple. And with the new coaching staff, again, that's cycled through, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. There's no doubt about it. I mean, and that's why I took the Flyers on that combination, basing off the bye weeks. It's like, well, let's see what happens and which one's doing all right and who's playing who, and just to have as a backup, just in case.
So here's the question too: is how many of us actually have a tight end quarterback or wide receiver quarterback tandem or duo? Like how many of us? Well, we know you do.
I have 3 sets
Jesus.
because I drafted Wilson because I drafted Wilson and Davis. So I
have Ryan and Pitts. That's it. I was hoping to get Brown and Tannehill, but it didn't quite work out.
Sorry.
That's all right. We all draft for ourselves. We don't draft for anybody else.
Right.
And the thing is, the scarier part of that is because you took Ryan that round that he took Tannehill.
Yeah. Well, it went. I
But it's
read
all that
Ryan
game
and then
Strides.
Samuel. Yeah.
That Shrod's going on that defense. Kick.
No,
Yeah.
no. He took Tannehill before he took Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep, that's right. It comes back this way. Yep. Goes that way and then comes back this way. That's right.
I think I only got the one. I just got Herbert and Allen.
Yeah, but that's not nothing.
No, and then now you add Jared Cook to that too, so I got all 3.
Yeah.
So
Richie's got Mahomes and Hardman.
yeah, Richie's the bastard that took. I was going to take Baker that one round, or I was waiting to take Baker, and he's like, "Book it." I'm like, "Son of a bitch!"
Hey,
What's up, Bruiser?
What's up, guys?
Let's see. Does Suds have one? He's got Rodgers and
No. Well, who does he have for his other? Because he's got Field.
Fields. And no, he does not have a combo. Suds does not have a combo. What Stroud's got? Brady
And Kyler.
and Kyler.
Robbie Anderson.
I don't see. No, he doesn't have a combo either. Huh.
To be fair, I don't usually draft for combos. If it happens, it happens. So that's great.
Right.
But I'm just taking best guy off my list.
And Gary's got Prescott and Lamb.
Yeah. Well, you said he's a Dallas guy, right?
Yeah, he's a Dallas guy, though. Yeah.
He only took Lamb because Cooper was taken.
Yeah, right, because Cooper got taken just before him. That's what he wanted. He wanted Cooper, but he's like, he'll take Lamb. Adam, you got Allen and Herbert. That's it. Scott has Stafford. And just Stafford. Oh, Hurts. He's got Hurts here too. He drafted. Is that Brown with the Rams there?
Is it or is that
Hang on.
is that Hollywood? I think that's Hollywood Brown
Yeah, that's supposed
from Baltimore.
Yeah, it's Hollywood Brown. No, he didn't. He didn't get a combo either. Nope, no combo. This Akers guy, Jesus Christ. He's got Lamar and Andrews. That's it. That's it. That's his combo.
That's not a bad combo.
That's the only person who knows how to catch for him.
And is healthy.
But stays on the field, right?
Waylon did not get a combo. Waylon also failed to get a combo. So a lot of guys with no combos. Lots of guys. Lots of guys with no combos. That is a lot.
Honestly, when you guys look at this board, is there something that stands out more than another, or you think it's all pretty much even across the board?
That's a good damn question.
This year is the biggest crapshoot because there's no, as we said, there's no real dominance for a running back with a lot of teams because it's going to be a long season, and it is going to be running back A and running back B, and then They're going to be back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be a thunder and lightning with a lot of teams. So it's really going to be a matter of who can go 60 to 70% in the game, and have them use that secondary guy where like Cleveland will have it pretty well balanced out, 55, maybe 45.
And I got both, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's going to happen with a lot of them eventually, because you're not going to be able to sit there and run these guys 17, even 16 through 17 weeks and then expect them to be like that going into this playoffs.
Well, and think about all the combos you have now too. You got Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake. You got Chubb and Hunt. You got ETN and James Robinson.
And Robinson, yep.
Dylan and Jones in Green Bay.
And Swift and Williams in Detroit.
Right. Who's Kansas City's backup though?
Well, it's the other Williams. It's him.
Darius or Damian.
And because Clyde Edwards is listed 2 at the moment. They put Damian back up. So that's why I was very intrigued when you drafted Clyde Edwards. I was like, I wonder if he saw everything that they were going to be a split. Okay. Well, yeah, they're kind of Andy Reid's kind of on that. It may be the same thing like Chubb and Hunt. Just a heads up.
Yeah, but it's also a thing where Edwards it'll be his second year in an Andy Reid offense. Andy Reid doesn't exactly design cookie cutter offenses. So he could be poised for a breakout just from being there for a year. We'll see.
Yeah.
I do want to point out, not that I feel the need to bag on any particular team.
Go ahead. What'd I do wrong?
Nope, no, wasn't you.
Damn it.
Hill, Kelsey, Eckler, Stafford, Edmonds.
The Edmonds.
Obviously, Hill and Kelsey are going to get you points. That's fine. And if God willing, somehow Mahomes had ended up there, Jesus Christ, write him the check now. But Eckler and Edmonds. That is a rough pairing.
No, and look a few more down. Mostert. He's got
Mostert's not making it through the year.
Well, but that's kind of the other kicker is.
Yeah.
I know because I had Mostert last year. I don't even want to talk about it. Scrambling between 549er running backs in the last 5 weeks of the season. Jesus Christ.
Well, and the thing is, Mostert's got to worry about too is if that Trey Sermon that came out those last 4 or 5 games for Ohio State, if that's the same Trey Sermon they're getting, he ain't gonna have a chance to beat. He'll beat out fucking Mostert in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, I'm not bagging the Eckler pick at all. But Edmonds as a number 2 running back, I just don't see it.
He had a couple flashes in the pan games last year, but other than that,
I mean, unless he's going to do a rotation, they'll throw Gaskin in there some weeks, but
right. But I mean, it looks, and the funny thing is their system that they're using, they're entering in my scoring system on that app, and they're kind of just going by it. And hey. He made it to the Super Bowl last year doing it. So guess what? I ain't knocking it.
No, I mean, that's fine.
I'm not going to knock it. Their system thing, he's been in the playoffs pretty strong the past couple of years, so I can't knock it, not one bit. And he's right smack dab in the middle, too, so everything was there, so we'll see. But yeah, it's going to be a little tricky. But the Gaskin and Mostert getting those guys that late, that was a pretty smooth move.
Richie's Hardman, Godwin, Johnson, Sutton. I'll be honest. I mean, Hardman went way early as far as I was concerned. I understand what he was doing.
Well, if
he wanted to get that combo.
Yeah, but if he didn't, he wasn't going to see Hardman.
I just don't know that combo is going to be anything he thinks it might be. I mean, Hardman hasn't shown much of damn right anything at this point.
Well,
I think they said he's supposed to be like the second.
Right. Watkins is gone. Hardman is the number 2. So he's going to get a lot more playing time now.
Is that what it was? It just opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying then is that he couldn't beat out Watkins.
Well, like I said, right now, the early, like I said, all the camp stuff is that. What's up, Chipper? Hardman has been the source of, hey, that's my Robbie Anderson setup, and that's why he would not have seen Hardman. I would definitely not have Lockett, and I would have Hardman because that's what I was hoping was going to get around, through a few, because I didn't think too many people would be paying attention to Hardman because nobody would be looking at him that early. But Richie,
I think I got you. I think I got you last year with a Lockett, where you were like, "You son of a bitch."
Well, no, because I had DK already.
That's right. That's why you didn't go for it.
I had already hit DK.
Well, I mean, I can't. Which Johnson is that he's got?
Johnson.
I mean, for what it's worth. Okay, for what it's worth, maybe? I have Hardman.
Yeah, it's Deontay Johnson from Pittsburgh.
Okay, for what it's worth, I have Hardman behind Godwin, behind Johnson, behind Sutton, and behind Lockett. Everybody that we've mentioned.
Wow.
That's why I brought that up.
Well, all right, so let me ask you, let's get all your guys' expertise on this. Who was the one pick that was a reach at whatever spot that they were taking, in your opinion?
You're going to have to give me a minute.
No, that's what I'm saying. Take your time. I just, and go easy on Akers.
Michael Thomas. I already said it.
His scenario.
Well, let's eliminate the Thomas ordeal.
Okay.
That Gary's getting the pass, being the true rookie of a fantasy football draft. So he's getting the pass.
The top receiver. So technically, just because of the headache that's going down there in New Orleans.
Right. He was still the number 1 receiver last year.
I don't downgrade him because of the headache. I downgrade him because of the injury.
Well, it's more the headache at the moment, though, of how much you're going to play up the injury.
Yeah.
But eliminating out Thomas.
I was going to say, I'm going pretty far here, and so far I haven't. I would say Hardman. That's the first one I come to, other than Thomas, where I just bump on it and just say I'm not anywhere close to where I would have taken him.
Edmonds doesn't bother you where he's at?
Edmonds comes after Hardman. Okay. That's why Hardman was the first one I came to.
Well, because I forgot they got James Conner now too. But granted, he really didn't do shit in Pittsburgh, but
the Terminated.
Yeah.
Actually, the one, as I had looked at it too, the one that I looked at, I was surprised, was Schrod's taking Murray at 3.
Okay.
I could really see that. Yes, even with my scoring system, that is not a light 'em up QB per se, and
they do have a fourth quarterback.
What's that?
They have him ranked as the 4th quarterback.
Yeah, I've got him ranked pretty high. He's in the top 2.
Yeah. Every ESPN, Yahoo, CBS all has him in like the top 5.
what I would say, and Weston, once again, it's not attacking Gary. It's usually Prescott. I mean, that's the biggest gamble right now. Is he really back to being Prescott, or do we have to back into the system again? That's a big injury. That is a big injury to come off of.
James Conner didn't even get drafted, did he?
I don't think so.
Nope.
As far as Murray, I mean, he's going into his third year, so breakout year for a quarterback. And he improved from year 1 to year 2.
Well,
can he stay healthy?
But in my scoring system, he is a tier 2. He's the 7th man.
But if he improves again like he did from year 1 to year 2, he's a 4,000 yard passer.
I mean,
he almost was this past year.
Right. I get it. Again, the schedules are really tight, and that division is going to beat the crap out of each other. And that's like it was like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I still had him up there.
What did it say?
Is an only
injury prone.
Chipper.
QB situation. Only legit wide receiver in New Orleans.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to see too, is what's going to go happen down there in New England. Is Mac Jones really going to be that quarterback that they're beefing him up to be? Or are they just another story? He's getting beefed up just so that Cam can pull out the tape and start flying away.
Oh, we know that the Red Rifle didn't get drafted and Fields did, so
right.
You know,
I mean, yeah, okay.
We know what's going to happen in Chicago.
Yes, we know what's going to happen in Chicago. I honestly think, depending on how the year goes, Cam might play a lot of the year. He might not. If it starts going downhill, or if Cam comes out and has a bad couple games,
could it be a Dolphin situation all over again?
Absolutely.
I don't think Bill's going back and forth. He makes that switch. He makes that switch.
Right.
He sticks with it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the bigger kicker out of that is that Cam Newton, remember, it's the most he can make is that 14 to 15 mil. The initial base of that contract is still sitting only at 6 or 7 because it's heavily incentive based. So if Cam craps the bed, it's just like, dude, you're not making it anyway. So guess what? We'll just turn around and dump you. I mean, they literally, outside of his veteran status, Bill could just say bye and not lose any sleep over it. And you think Robert Kraft is going to care? Not one bit.
Here's the question.
Shoot.
For you, George.
Shoot.
And the rest of you guys can answer, but I want George to go first because it involves his team.
Go ahead.
Who's going to start first, Trey Lance or Mac Jones?
Oh, Jesus Christ. You ass.
Love you, buddy. Love you, buddy.
You have to start Mac Jones. I'm just going to do
yeah. Oh, God damn. I reserve the right to evaluate the schedule first. I reserve the right to see the friggin' schedule first.
I say Trey Lance because only one time in his career has Garoppolo played more than 6 games.
Oh, no shit. Oh, there it is.
Really? I've got 3 dogs. You can have all the shit you want.
No, I was looking for my dice bag.
Let me flip to the correct. Oh, damn! Past the Patriots already. All right, come on, Packers. Panthers, Patriots. So we've got to. All right. I was going to pop up over here. Nope, sorry. You don't get to go on that screen. Get out of here. Get over to the other one. Get over here. The
Miami, Jets, New Orleans, Tampa Bay. I was going to say, which of these teams is actually going to
I
knock
was
them
going to
out?
say, the 49ers have the Lions, the Eagles.
Okay.
I've got the 49ers beating the Lions, but then go on that 4-game losing streak of the Eagles, Packers, Seahawks, and Cards. So Trey Lance gets the bye week as well to prep for the Colts, and they sneak a win at home. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So week 7 for Trey. And I had the Patriots beating the Dolphins and also going on a 4-game losing streak because I had the Texans upsetting them. And after the Texans upsetting them, that's when Mac Jones would be in. And that's week 6. So Mac Jones gets a week before Trey does. So Mac Jones is my final answer.
To be fair, losing to the Texans should basically be the demise of damn near any quarterback.
In his career.
Yep, and his career. And that will be the last time we have to see Cam Newton in some horrifying suits and all that.
And my thing is like, what the hell happened to him? Like, he was decent in Carolina and then just fell off the face of the earth.
He got hurt over and over again.
Yep.
I guess it affected him more than I've seen.
Yeah, as much, like I said, that NFC West, after doing all the homework that I had to do, it's the AFC North last year. They will beat the hell out of each other, and the schedule is just punches thrown here and there. And it's going to be very tight. And that's why I'm kind of glad that I've not drafted too much of any of them, because you just don't know how poor that could pop up. So I know Bryce wasn't too thrilled when I even said, yeah, I don't know about Seattle this year, especially if they can't get themselves together as far as the whole front office and really supporting and keeping Russell Wilson upright and not running for his life, and trying to make all these Hail Mary passes that get all those fantasy points, which, we fantasy people love that. But, that's not good for Russell Wilson's health, especially only being in the 10th year. It's not good.
No.
So.
Well, I pulled up Cam Newton's injury history, and unfortunately they don't have it in the order that they occurred. But I don't know at what point we feel he went from good to.
Well, it was the shoulder, wasn't it?
Well, in 2016, he had a grade 1 concussion, shoulder rotator cuff tear. Yeah, that's pretty rough for a quarterback. You tear your rotator cuff.
I said that his deep ball wasn't nearly what it used to be after that injury.
2018 knee strain, shoulder injury that he played through and then he ended up getting surgery after the season.
And then he was out.
2019, he had a Liz Frank injury on his left foot.
Yeah, and he was out. He only played 2 games, and then he was out.
Hey, but look at the bright side. For all the time he's had off for injuries, his outfits are on point.
Well, the thing is literally, you're looking at his career. Year 1, 16. You're actually the first 3 years, full seasons. 2014 missed 2 games. 2015 full season. 2016 game and a half. 2017 full season. 2018 2 games. 2019's has been his only one where it was just 2 games and missed the whole season after that. And then last year was 15 out of the 16. He's been playing. It's just the minor tweak things here and there that keep,
Well, let's go to 2014 where he played. In 2014, he fractured a rib in the preseason. In December, fractured a vertebrae. Played.
Yep. Played.
And then January 12, 2014, tore a ligament in his ankle. His injuries just kind of snowball. And, I mean, what are you going to do when you tear your rotator cuff or tear a ligament in your ankle?
Yeah, I mean, the record.
You're going to make fun of him about what his contract was when he signed that $1 million contract. He signed a $1 million contract stating that, yeah, I want to play. Give me the $1 million and I'll show you up. Now he signed a $6 million contract, optimized to get to 14, depending on the stats. But if you get cut with $6 million and you just signed a $1 million contract the year before that, you think he's going to be hurting?
But where? Okay, then what home do you put him in? New Orleans?
Nowhere. Done.
Nowhere.
He can't make it in New England. Where else is he going to make it? In Houston?
Wow. Okay, you said it. I didn't.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Houston would take him.
I was going to say Houston would probably take him in a minute.
Yeah.
Houston
Who
would
is-
take him in a minute.
Well,
No,
he's going to be a
think about
homer? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Who is going to be the quarterback if Watson doesn't play?
Hang on, I'm looking.
That's what I think you might be faster at it.
No, I'm not there yet.
Detroit? Cam's the only right now. Belichick
Oh
is not
God,
that person.
they got the greatest. Who's the rookie
Uh-oh.
quarterback? They got
Actually,
Tyrod Taylor.
Watson is listed 4th.
Yeah.
Watson is not listed as a starter. Tyrod Taylor, Jeff Driscoll, and Davis Mills are
Stanley.
all ahead of Deshaun Watson.
Driscoll still playing?
Yep.
Jesus, I thought he quit after the Colts game.
So Tyrod Taylor is your starting quarterback as of this moment.
So give him 5 games, and then Driscoll will be in.
Rookie on that? Is there a rookie quarterback?
No, that's why I was asking too, because he's going to make the rookie look good. Baker and Herbert both.
How we get into a rookie?
Unless they have an undrafted free
Actually,
agent rookie.
Davis Mills is a rookie. Davis Mills, the third guy, is a
What would you
rookie.
do?
There you go.
What would you do if seriously they pulled him in
And
you
he
lost
blows
your
up?
job 3 years and 3 seasons in a row to a rookie quarterback?
We're gonna see Davis Mills cards come out of the woodworks for people who went, "Oh, this guy ain't nothing." It's hold on a second. He's in Houston. Tyrod's starting. Oh, hang on. Don't throw them out just yet.
Throw them out. That way, mine's the only one on the market.
Hey, how about them? How about them Steelers? Steelers could use them some Cam Newton.
Oh, please do take him.
Oh dear God.
Just trying to fire a few
I don't
people
think Cam would be
up.
able to great.
Oh, give Chipper a minute. He'll be chiming in.
I was gonna say, hey Chipper, you want yourself some Cam Newton?
They ain't got a fucking offensive line. Cam will be running for his life there too.
Yep. Very true. Don't
That's
let
why I
that
feel bad for
preseason
Najee.
fool you.
The only reason why Ben's still up is because it's hard. He's a big boy you got to take down.
Yeah, for as big as he is, I'll give him credit. He is elusive. He eludes tackles somehow for as big as he is. He does do pretty good at that. I'll give him that.
I'm curious.
Culpepper did the same thing, though. Culpepper
True.
was pretty good before he
Yeah,
got
full-
hurt.
full more
Culpepper was
than
pretty
fucking
solid
Ben.
at it, too. for a big man.
Well, Chipper did bring up a good point too. He said, "What about Foles? There's another place for Foles to go." And I'm not sure which one he was talking about. It.
The Foles wanted to go to the Colts, but they paid him.
Shoot. Cam will fit perfect because he wears so much yellow. Damn.
Fuck no. Well, I know they're high on Haskins now.
Yeah. And not surprised. Not surprised.
Is it kind of funny that how the Steelers always pick the Ohio State boys?
No, it's just that Haskins got a good look at the Pittsburgh strip clubs.
Pun intended.
Yep. Absolutely.
Houston for Foles.
Oh, man.
If Foles,
I don't think he'd want to go there.
No, I wouldn't either.
I mean, Houston had fucked up a draft before. I don't know. Two.
Oh, Jesus. Prime time with Dion. That's my cousin dropping his 3 cents. Yeah, that's right. Right on the TV show. What's Clint got here? Strip Club Haskins. Don't beat me up no more than 20. But I'm bum. All right, Zolt. Late round pickups. Late round pickups. Who do you like there?
I liked my pickup of Goddard, to be honest with you. I had him rated a lot higher, but it's just one of those things that nobody wants to touch. Nobody wants to touch Philly, and I understand it.
Well, that last since it goes into that quarterly setup, out of the bottom 3 rounds, the last 3 rounds, what looks pretty surprising? What looks surprising?
I like the fact that Jerry Jeudy's still there. Oh, sorry, Bruce.
Is he muted?
No, he's not muted.
Oh.
I was sorry. I turned my mic off to talk to the boy because the painter's tape fell in the sink. And he was curious as to why a roll of painter's tape was in the sink. Kind of.
But out of those bottom 3, you know, who was a surprise that you saw was still there?
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Well, actually, my surprise was the Colts defense actually still. That is one that surprised me because the Colts defense is actually sitting as edge tier 1, beginning tier 2 defense. I think the reason they got downgraded is because of the questions with the offense. And if the offense can't do much, defense is going to be on that field too much. I mean, I know Scott had to be sitting there going, well, okay, nobody took him. And it was like, wow. Because when he did take him, I looked and I was like, I can't believe it went. They actually were still there. I was shocked.
Who is strong enough to be on that defense that's actually going to get them points?
Darius Leonard.
I was going to say Darius Leonard is there.
They just got Kwity Paye in the draft.
And what's his face from the 49ers? He's still there too. So, yeah.
Oh, Thomas?
Yeah, the defense is very strong still. Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, from what I see.
They only really lost Phillip Rivers. Everything else is still there. So,
I mean, granted, like Gazolt was saying with the offensive situation, like for Michael Pittman to fall that far is strictly because of the quarterback situation. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason he should have fell that far.
No.
Can you shift it a little bit over so I can see what Richie's bottom 3 were? I know it's Ruggs the third. I just can't see the 2 underneath there.
It's Ruggs, Williams, and Henry. He took Hunter Henry last.
Hunter Henry, right.
Yeah, and the Williams is Jamal. It's Jamal Williams.
Oh, okay. So Detroit.
Yeah, it's Jamal Williams from Detroit.
I don't mind the Fuller pick. I just don't know what we're going to get out of him. Yeah, he misses a game, but it's one game. Who cares? Judy's not a bad pick at all. Jamison Crowder could be a nice late round pick, last round pick. Gallup, I have no faith in. I mean, if Elliott sucks, Pollard's your guy.
Right.
Pollard probably becomes your RB2 instead of Sanders.
I am pulling up yesterday's preseason game because the Colts went full on. Jacob Eason was 15 for 21 with 183 yards. No TDs, no picks, but 15 for 21 for 183.
Was he the starter or was he the second guy in?
The second guy in was Sam Ellinger,
Okay.
with the rookie. He went 10 for 15, 155 and a pick. So the scoring, let me go back to that box score here. We got TDs from Ben LeMay and Jordan Wilkins in rushing. And then it looks like the rest of it is special teams. And I smell there should be is that a pick six? Give me the right box score, you damn it. What? The other box score? It's not giving it to me. Damn you. Give me the freaking correct box score that I want, and I'll have this.
You know, the invention of the PDF is a wonderful thing. But I tell you what, trying to edit this D&D character sheet is fucking, oh.
D&D, is the game still being played?
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It had a pretty massive resurgence during quarantine.
Yeah, I was going to say, COVID does wonders for a lot of things.
There you go, Akers.
I got a small screen, so I can't really see it.
Fifth Ed Player's Handbook.
I was gonna say, I mean, it's been like, I think 20-some years since I've seen a D&D book.
I used to play at lunch in 8th grade, and I started playing again with some friends, and they play all the time. I haven't played D&D forever, and I sat down to roll this character. I'm like, where are the Thaco dice? And they went, oh, they don't do that anymore. And I went, oh my God, it's been forever.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to know how popular it is, I got a story I can tell, but we want to talk about going off on a tangent.
I'll tell you what, like I played Vampire the Masquerade and Shadowrun and Cyberpunk. Like those are my RP games. And I never, because of the group of people that I played D&D with, I hated D&D. And now playing it with a group of friends that I used to play Shadowrun and all that stuff with, I really enjoy it. Plus, I get to play oddball characters.
Is that guy here?
Oh, shit.
We don't want to.
Yeah.
Screens are getting smaller and smaller. I don't know what else to do anymore.
Or it's just suds. You're all right.
I'm about to jump off here shortly. Battery's about to die.
See, that's why I bring all my shit out on the charger, or bring everything out here on the front porch. Keep charging while we're on.
Right?
Well, for some reason, my camera's not working on the laptop. That's why I jumped on the phone and my cord's all the way to the bedroom, and I don't feel like it.
I don't know whose team that is, but I'm looking at the drafts. Whoever took Gallup way at the end, I feel like that was a bit of a reach.
Gallup at the end.
Fourth.
That's a doubt. That's why.
That's the new guy. That's our new guy who is in.
No,
I feel like
Clint made a point in the chat that he thought it was a good pick just because Cooper's going to miss a few games.
I mean, it's a good pick, but I feel like you could have grabbed him off the waiver wire and not wasted a draft pick.
But that's the last pick. That's also the very last pick. That's the last round too.
How many defenses are you guys running?
One.
Most of us. Well, Akers has 2.
Akers is, Akers went on a hissy fit because I took his field goal kicker. So he went and he was pissed off and he took the 49ers defense too to take 2 defenses.
He was number 1 defense. Or
Yeah, but
number 2, number 3. Sorry.
I feel like you could draft 2 defenses. You probably could have picked a sleeper defense like an Arizona or someone like that and held on to them. And then
If this was a normal league, yes. If this was a normal league.
Yeah, I was going to say normal.
Bruiser. Gallup was a stretch, but Akers had 3 write-ins. That's not a stretch?
Who did Akers have?
Yeah, we had to do 3 write-ins.
For Akers,
he drafted the 4th string tight end for Jacksonville in Tebow. He drafted the 4th wide receiver in DPJ, but he did draft with his last pick the starting field goal kicker for the Browns.
Well, that we hope is the starting field goal kicker because we don't want Parkey.
Actually, the Sunday morning article said Parkey could have kicked his way out of Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't think Parkey's going to be here anymore.
Because I'm pretty sure if you watched it, Parkey missed 2 field goals in the 3rd quarter.
And he joined the fucking one.
And he doinked the one.
They were doing kicking practice last week, and he doinked a 30-yarder.
And you should not be doinking a 30-yarder.
Absolutely not. So
before Bryce's scrimmage game tonight, Bryce was hitting 18 and 20-yard field goals, and I'm sitting there going, "Dude, you can be Parkey."
Dude, Parkey doinks 18 and 20-yard field goals. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Why is it every
Bryce
time this
was
dude
putting him right down the middle? Bryce was
saying Bryce could beat Parkey.
Oh, for sure.
Think about it though. Anytime Parkey comes up, it's Browns fans. When he hits the fucking upright, it's just like the Homer Simpson. Don't every time. It's like it's ridiculous.
You know who Parkey reminds me of as far as Cleveland sports goes? He reminds me of Bob Wickman from like 05 to 07.
Oh God, yeah, light the wick, and then he'd fucking come in and give you a fucking heart attack because he about blew the save.
He'd load the bases and then somehow work his way out of it. And he couldn't figure out how the fuck he did it.
And that dude, he was good at that, but it's like he seemed like he was better when he had the bases loaded. Like he got his shit was like he got his more on his pitches and for whatever fucking reason, but he got to give us goddamn shit fit.
Except Parkey loads the bases and then throws the grand slam.
Right.
So,
Serves up the softball.
It's weird. My speaker on my headsets are working, but I can hear it coming out of my computer too. I don't know what's going on?
It's that modern technology, Suds.
So with 10 minutes left in the show, we want to talk about that shit show that happened in Indianapolis yesterday.
We just lost Suds. What the hell happened?
Good,
because he said NASCAR.
This is the time to keep me out.
After watching it, literally watching the Adam sent me the clip, and I'm sitting there going, "Wow, Briscoe had it, and then screwed it up." Like
the penalty, I don't know whose fault that is, because what happened was he got ran into the grass
by Hamlin.
And he came back out of the grass and joined the field ahead of it, but not farther than where he would have been. I think if he'd have come out, made a complete stop and got back in, they wouldn't have penalized him. And he'd have only been 4th or 5th. He wouldn't have been that far behind. My problem with that penalty is that you watched Ross Chastain do the exact same thing at Sonoma not more than 4 weeks ago and didn't penalize him for it. And not only did they penalize him, they black flagged him after it too and parked him, which is why he finished 26th and a lap down when he was going to win that race.
Hey, like I told George, I said, I know he picked Briscoe yesterday, but once I knew that he booted Hamlin and took them out of the way, I had Allmendinger take the lead. I was happy because I picked Allmendinger yesterday, so I'll take it.
Well, I told George, I said, hey, if you want to go for a home run shot, I said it's either going to pay off or it'll bite you in the ass. I said, take Briscoe and take Cindric.
And
Cindric was ninth.
It almost worked, yeah.
So
it almost worked.
That's the thing with big swings like that. You either hit or you miss, and
it was very close to hitting.
I'm sorry that it didn't. Because I'd have loved to have seen.
No, it was. Yeah, it was some. And you're right. It's like at this stretch, everybody's jockeying for positions, and you're going to see a whole bunch of these other guys popping up. Getting those first wins in. Absolutely.
I would have liked to have seen Briscoe win yesterday, just to watch all of the Hamlin supporters freak out.
Chipper, fuck the ending to that race. He hates road course racing. He says they're boring. I said that's where you find out who your true drivers are.
I was just gonna say, are you kidding? The road courses are the best ones.
I think 7 is too many.
5 would be okay.
I think 5. I think if you revamp the schedule next year, and I like them racing on the Daytona road course. But if you're not going to make it a regular season road course and you do it at the Clash, then what you do is you take the top 10 in Truck, the top 10 in Xfinity, and the top 10 in Cup from the previous year's standings, and you put all 30 cars on the track at once, and the 3 class winners win your pole for the respective Daytona races.
What's the road courses? Explain those to me.
Explain a road course?
Yes, sir. Because you said it was somebody said it was boring. I assumed the road courses were not circles.
They actually take turns.
They make right turns.
That's the one they're saying is oh my god.
Here's the thing with road course racing. Road course racing does tend to get boring because the field gets so stretched out, and
because they have to actually know the drive.
It's not even that. It's like places like Road America, where it's almost a 4.5 mile course. If you're in the lead or within the top 10, you could finish your pit stop, and only come out maybe losing 3 positions depending on how stretched out the field is.
Well, prime example is yesterday. Hamlin was in the lead at one point. He had a 12-second lead, spun out, and didn't fucking cost him any positions.
Well, who was it? Was it Larson at Sonoma, or was it somebody pitted? I want to say it was at Sonoma. Somebody completed their pit stop, and came out and never lost the lead. Never, they had that big of a lead.
So whose problem is it? It's the other drivers drive better.
It's not even the other drivers. It's more of with Road America.
You can't go 4 wide.
Well, that's part of the appeal of it, is that you have to be able to drive and navigate the course. I love watching Watkins Glen because it's a short road course, and it's very technical for being as flat out open as it is. The Indy Road Course, I would love to see him drop the Indy Road Course, go back to the Indy Oval, and pick up the Daytona Oval or the Daytona Road Course, because that Indy Road Course is flat and narrow and not designed for those big ass heavy stock cars at all.
And they race it backwards.
And they race it backwards. What is the final turn should actually be the first turn.
This actually sounds like something I'd be willing to watch. So
If you,
Hey, it's now recorded, just so y'all heard that.
I'd be willing to watch.
I tell you what, Suds. I listen. I know your disdain for the ovals, and I understand. But I tell you what, in October they're racing at Charlotte, but they're racing what they call the Charlotte Roval. Watch it. You might enjoy it.
Remind me then.
Especially
I have no memory whatsoever, so you have to remind me then.
Try
it once.
Especially the Xfinity cars, because the Xfinity cars have what they call a composite body. It's not sheet metal like the Cup cars. You beat and bang on those composite bodies, they don't get out of shape. They don't lose their aerodynamics. Those guys will go into turn one and just root each other out of there and keep going. And it's a lot of fun to watch, but it also takes a lot of skill to run that road course.
I like the one where they're in the dirt road and they're going over hills and they're sliding, they're going around sharp corners and
the stadium trucks.
I don't know what they call
the off-road trucks, stadium trucks. Yeah, those are fun. That's where Jimmy Johnson came from. Started his career in stadium trucks, and he got spotted by Jeff Gordon, and then Jeff Gordon put him in an Xfinity car.
Oh, I can't do the ovals.
It really depends. Like, I feel like somebody like you might enjoy like Daytona or Talladega, where every 5 laps there's a massive fucking crash that takes out half the fucking field.
Yeah, I call it the big one for a reason.
Or
I think if they took away the competition pit,
the competition
let
caution,
it go back. Yeah, it's where let them all like we 200 laps from start to finish.
Oh, you're talking about the stages. Thing with the stage breaks is the stages are necessary now. They're absolutely necessary now because you don't have practice and you don't have qualifying. So those guys are wrenching on those cars up until the 3rd stage. They're using those stage breaks and the cautions that they have to make adjustments. They're keying in a setup on those cars at the shop, loading them up in the trailer and taking them to the track, and then unloading them, rolling them through tech on Sunday, and then putting them on the grid. They're not getting 3 50-minute practice sessions. They're not getting a qualifying. Like, there's far less data available now than there was 2 years ago.
So if someone wins stage 1, I know what they do, right? But
if they win stage
1, are they leading stage 2?
They go in. You start
Well,
stage. You start stage 2 and first if you make it out of the pit first.
Okay. And then stage 3.
That's the final stage usually.
What's that? Third stage?
You win the final. You win the 3rd stage. You win the race.
Yeah, if you win the 3rd stage, you win the race. But the thing
you got to understand, the 2 stages are basically it's for playoff points.
Correct.
Like Tyler Reddick won both stages yesterday. He got 20 points, but that's about all he got because he wrecked out.
That's all right. He put himself firmly in that last playoff spot. But I understand where you're coming from, but I think the stages are necessary. I like the stage breaks.
I mean, I feel I haven't really been paying attention the last year. I've gotten away from it just because I'm busy as can be. But like the stage breaks, I feel that are just helping the top name drivers better than trying to help someone like. I mean, I'm gonna say Kyle Larson because he wasn't a top name driver, but this year he kind of is.
It's not kind of. No, he is. It's not like you win. He had a shot to win Daytona.
Yep.
He had a shot to win the Daytona road course, and he wrecked out on both. And neither wreck was his fault. He won the Coke 600. He won the All-Star race. He won the biggest dirt late model race in the country. He won the biggest sprint car race in the country this past weekend. He won the second biggest sprint car race in the country.
He's going for the Triple Crown now.
Well, he won the Kings Royal. He won the dirt late model, and then he won the Knoxville Nats. And I don't know what the third one is. I think it's the
Williams Grove.
Oh yeah, didn't they already? No, it is coming up, isn't it?
If he wins that, he gets a Triple Crown, and there's only been 2 other guys that have done it.
I think he could do it.
Oh, easily.
Did you watch the A main on Saturday night? Did you get a chance to see that?
No.
He managed to hold off Donnie's shots and win by 0.04 seconds. He came out of 4. He came out of 4. Donnie
Shots was right next to him, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, Shots was right on him. Another lap, Shots is winning the Knoxville Nats. That's a form of racing you might like, Suds.
Dirt sprints.
The sprint cars, the big wing sprint cars on dirt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're whipping hard.
They're going in. Watch one of those cars go straight down the straightaway, and then all of a sudden they are vertical in the turn, just sliding through it. It's really fun to watch because of the amount of physics.
I've seen Tokyo Drift. I get it.
Not even close.
No, not even. Imagine that with 910 horsepower underneath you.
A lot more.
Okay. But that's what we're talking about, the slide.
Yeah, I mean they'll slide that thing and they come out with almost perfect control. It's so much fun to watch.
Oh, Akers laughing at.
Zolt's staring like he wants to go back to talking about D&D.
No, actually, I have a question for Suds. I need to know if this qualifies for his team.
Oh.
It's not. I mean, it's 2 counts of operating while under the influence causing serious injury, and 2 counts of reckless driving causing serious injury.
Does that qualify for your criminal list team?
Has he been convicted yet?
No, he was charged like today, I think. All right.
Not yet.
Until he's found guilty.
Not yet.
Okay.
Who won?
Bargain or put on probation.
All right.
So,
this was Alex Brown, a cornerback for the Detroit Lions, who was waived yesterday. He was waived yesterday afternoon. Yesterday morning, it was alleged intoxicated, driving at a high rate of speed on the wrong side of I-75.
So there's a technicality going on. He was actually dropped before he was charged.
Yes.
But I did put O.J. Simpson on there.
Yeah.
So if he's found guilty or put on probation or any kind of deal is brokered, then yes, he would be put on my list.
He struck a 27-year-old Detroit man. Oh, sorry. Yeah, he struck a car head on. 27-year-old Detroit man transported to a local hospital with injuries to his legs. Brown's teammate, tight end Charlie, I'm not going to get this name wrong, Tamapau, was Brown's front seat passenger, was trapped in the car until removed with the jaws of life.
Whoa.
So Brown was waived, obviously. Tamapau was waived with a non-football injury designation.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
And I feel that the NFL and all teams should be saved by something like that, where they get dumb players that do dumb shit. They should not have to be paid. They should have to put all their money back on the contract for the team that signed them. stating, let's say if he got signed for $7 million, he owes the team back $7 million or what was paid for.
You would pay. You would if that was his signing bonus. He just got paid. He would be. For instance, like Aaron Rodgers, had he not played this year, he was going to have to give back part of his signing bonus that he received on this last contract back if he didn't play.
I'll be honest. Go ahead. Sorry, Seth. Go ahead.
Since he, I don't know what year this dude's in. What these two guys were in, what year they were in, on contract wise. Potentially, they'd have to give back part of their signing bonuses based upon the fact that they didn't fulfill a year. But if they just got signed, yeah, they got to give it all back actually, except for any kind of practice time.
I mean,
money wise.
No, I
sorry.
Oh,
well, you have to pay them for what they've actually done.
Nope.
Yes, you have to.
The big fine, just like the government does. We're gonna write you a check for a big fine. Here's what you owe. No.
Well, if they play 2 seasons, they're signed for 4 seasons, they'd have to give back 50% of their signing bonus. But as game checks, they would get the first 2 seasons, but obviously wouldn't be paid for this season or next. But yeah, like I said, like Aaron Rodgers, had he not played, he would have lost so much money. He basically would have played last year for free with the amount of money he would have lost. That's why he was never going to sit out.
All right. Well, with that being said, we will turn around, and I am trying to link up and establish ourselves with our other fantasy football gurus for next week, Sean and Big Dave Manning. So tune in next week as we will try to establish up the ADP strategy side and dynasty side of fantasy football. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Don't. Where's my clothes? There it is.
Where's your